So, before we begin this sewer dungeon, I want to just give a brief disclaimer. There's gonna be some audio crackling. The emulator really doesn't like this area.
I can't imagine why.
Yeah, see if you can figure out why.
What did they do? Like, what even technically is going on here?
It's a lot easier to see if you look in, like, some of the center ones, but this is just one room. It's a big old circle with a line in the middle.
Oh, you didn't extend it to the battle screen, you absolute cowards. What even is the point of you? Like, you had one job, developers. Like, I want the menu and the HUD and all the lines of cards and all of this text to also be put through whatever the fuck that was. Otherwise, like, what? Why? Come on. I've never been so hyped up and so let down within 30 seconds before. I mean, I don't even care how absolutely awful it would have been, because A, I'm not playing, so it's not my problem, but also, like, that would just be like you kind of just have to hand it to them kind of a situation.
I'm personally glad that they did not do that, but I will let you be mad about it for me.
I mean, you're only saying that because you had to actually play this.
You're not wrong.
But, like, no, I can see, like, you know, what's going on the path. Like, I can understand the abstract conceit here. What I don't understand, or that's what I don't understand, but what I'm really curious about is what actually technically is happening with the frame that they're rendering. How are they achieving this effect? What fuckery are they doing with the pixels?
Oh, they've got a couple different ones. This one's a lot easier to understand.
Yeah, that's like... You can kind of muddle your way through this. But, like, this seems like one of those things where you do a video where you move the camera even slightly and it completely reveals the trick. Like the Zelda Link Between Worlds for the 3DS had this effect where they had everybody doing, like, limbo walking in order to get this effect that made it look like how Link to the Past looked, but in 3D. And it's like, you absolute madmen, that's literally it, that's all they did.
You know, camera fuckery is a hell of a thing.
I absolutely live for, like, straightforward perspective hacks in video games to make stuff look a certain way. Like, even down to little engine fuckery. Like, there was a bunch of times in Portal where they used, like, in-engine portals to make spaces that were impossible, but they did it in a way that wasn't really obvious that that's what they were doing. So there were some rooms that, like, you pass through a door and you're technically warping halfway across the map, but they just used some trickery to make it seem seamless. And it works, and I love it, and it's fascinating. And I am intensely curious about this. Also, is there seriously a camera following your feet around?
Yes. You have no idea how much I relied on that camera.
That's incredible. Like, I'm even more curious about that. Like, they must have some stuff going on. Like, I thought this is all pre-rendered backgrounds, but they're doing this. That means they must have rendered one of every perspective, and are scrolling them relatively.
You're here! Faster than I thought. Quite clever, wouldn't you say? Using mirrors to reinforce the seal.
Stop! You mustn't break the seal.
You know, if it was that easy the whole time, why didn't we just do that?
Yeah, I mean, we could have also just broken them.
What do you ask of the gods? What will you do with their power? You wish so much to prevail, knowing it to be but a fleeting dream.
I mean, yes.
That petty fools.
That's like how this whole thing works, right?
Anyway, so here's that boss from, like, Wind Waker and every other game Nintendo has ever made.
I mean, it seems at least slightly interpretive on the theme. Like, it's not literally the exact same. Like, it's got 4 floating things rather than 2. That alone is a game changer.
And it's also got, fuck you, I'm breaking your combo now. That's a new mechanic.
And also, I mean, like, it being in an RPG just kind of makes the conceit not really matter very much. I don't know. Like, it feels like it bugs me much more when it's in an action game like Zelda than when it's in an RPG like this. And like I said, there's 4 things, that completely changes everything. Like, is it like actually 5 targets, or is it 4? Is it just one guy?
It is just one guy. That was my first thought when I started playing it too. It was like, wait, hang on.
That's dull. I expect one thing from JRPG like story bosses, and that thing is gimmicks. Everybody wants gimmicks. Bosses need gimmicks, we know this. We've known this since Final Fantasy started getting even slightly creative. They gotta do weird stuff, and we gotta, like, use abstract tactics that we don't normally have to do. Also, that is quite cursed.
What's really fun is that inflicts sleep, so you know how that one's gonna go.
Yeah. Bad times, bad times.
So we haven't really talked about Mizuti. They're just kind of here. They're actually really underpowered right now. Like they're missing a solid like 400 HP compared to the rest of the party, which is not ideal. But you know,
Are they underleveled or just like a glass cannon or what?
no, just their starting stats are just super low for some reason. Like as soon as we get out of this dungeon, we'll get like 2 levels, and then their stats will basically be identical to Jella's.
Huh.
Which, incidentally, if it wasn't obvious, Mizuti is literally just Jella with different finishers.
I mean, it wasn't obvious, but I've not been paying that great detailed attention to what's going on with the very mechanical mechanics here, so... I don't know.
It is very nice to get a free stock of... Mizuti comes with 2 level 3 spells of every element, so that's nice. Little pick-me-up, because Jella's not doing so hot on that front herself.
I mean, it's like the Fire Emblem theory, where the late incoming characters reinforce your party with stuff that you might have missed. It's a classic tactic. Personally, I'd like to see more JRPGs more overtly do the kind of fuckery that Final Fantasy IX was doing, where you have characters that join you late in the game, but you've also got early game guest characters, but they actually share the same stats. I want to see a game take something like that and do something very weird with it. I'm not sure exactly why I thought of that based on this, but, you know, we're thinking about weird video game stuff involving late game characters. There's only so much of a well to draw from. Like, what's actually going on in this as a fight other than it not being a very interesting design? And having a very cursed attack that puts you to sleep.
I mean, not a whole lot. It's horrendously weak to darkness, like an 80% weakness or some shit like that, so...
That seems very off-brand.
So, once again, Liud's making hay here. I guess one thing that is notable is that Mizuti has a couple non-elemental finishers, which is an interesting idea.
I'm a fan of Mizuti's combat shouts. They seem a lot more, like, fitting as random battle barks than just, like, them being out talking like this. Like, see? Like, it works somehow. I don't understand why it works, I only understand that it works. So, like, I guess these things all just do little animation sequences, and instead of being like the four things taking their turn. That's kind of neat. I respect it when JRPG boss animators put the work in like that.
Yeah, no, rest assured that we are absolutely going to find ourselves in big fights like that, so...
This. Mighty sword, turn teardrops to terror and wreak havoc. Sword style.
Normal thing to say in combat.
I mean, I'm gonna say that if you're not also, if you're not also making stupid, over-the-top statements like that, is it truly a JRPG?
I mean, it's not, yeah, like, it's not the over-the-topness of it, it's just that it didn't work. It's not exactly the indignation chant, is it?
It's trying to be the indignation chant.
That was anticlimactic.
Take it now, woe-laden child. Behold, the enlightenment of Malpasio.
Wait, like... Stop me if I'm missing something here. We chased Giacomo in here, and then Giacomo broke a mirror, and then we had to fight a thing for some reason, and now we're claiming to end Magnus. What? Did we just forget that the bad guy crew is hanging out here? What's going on?
I mean, that's basically the same thing that happened in the Shrine of Spirits, where he was just like, oh, there's a boss, huh? Well, I guess that's your problem now, bye.
But he's still here. Like, was he just standing there the whole time?
What is this? No! The end of Magnus is being unsealed. Oh man, this is bad.
I mean, wasn't this the eventuality that they were trying to bring about?
Yeah, but this is only one of them, and they need all 5 doohickeys for whatever their plan is, so...
Invincible just does very low stats. And we're in a cutscene though, so I guess they can get away with saying that. Well, that was a meaningful choice. I guess they're trying to use the game mechanics to imply that we're actually doing this.
Phew. Looks like it worked.
I appreciate your help and your gift.
Yeah.
You won't be needing this.
Oh no! The pendant!
Yeah, you just walked up and swiped that thing, huh?
Could it be? Hey, wait!
Like, from around her neck as well?
Mizuti's hurt.
You know, you'd think they would be making a bit more judicious use of this whole teleport strategy.
Beauty, you all right? Hey!
Well, this went well.
Our ancestor, the one who found the End Magnus in the mystical garden, left records of his findings. They claim that the 5 End Magnus are the remains of a dead god, taken apart and buried separately.
Yeah, we've kind of been over that one.
The corpse of a deceased god?
That's awful.
Like, hang on, don't we, like,
Now it all
already
makes
know
sense.
this?
The names of the End Magnus are Le, Che, Ba. They must be named according to each body part. Arms, legs, chest, body.
Oh, come on.
A god's powers are retained in its remains long after death. The 5 End Magnus
I'm at least
were infused with the
mildly
power of
curious
the
what that
evil
was in
god.
Japanese, although I suspected it actually worked.
So that's what the curse was all about.
The 5th and final End Magnus must be the head of Malpertio. Looking at how the other Magnus have been named, number 5 must be called He.
Exactly. And the 5th End Magnus is buried somewhere in Alphard, Empire of the Flame.
So that's why, back in Inouye, the light from the End Magnus pointed towards both Mira and Alphard.
The End Magnus here had been unsealed, but was enclosed underground with magic. It was not fully awakened. That must be why the light indicated both islands.
Okay, sure,
Alphard,
whatever.
Empire of the Flame.
Look, Liud is an expert in how these
There's no
ancient
turning back now.
godlike powers
Let
work
us
now.
go
Just roll
to
with it.
Alphard.
The chain of us knowing things and figuring things out and inferring things and being told things and being surprised by things is just completely fucked.
We'll take him out on
What
his own
even is
turf.
happening? Like, am I going completely insane here? Like, do we
Right
not
on. Let's teach them a
already
lesson.
know most of this?
I'm with ya. We need to stomp out Geldablame's ambitions.
Let's go. Off to find and protect the final End Magnus.
The Empire shouldn't be underestimated.
We have to reclaim all the End Magnus they stole, bury them, and put the god back to rest. If only we could ease his hatred.
Uh-huh.
Something tells me it's not going to be so easy as take the god card and put it back in the ground, Jella.
At least shuffle it into a deck.
Now that you're awake, tell me, Great Mizuti, who are you anyway?
You wish to know who the Great Mizuti be? The Great Mizuti be great. Simple. The Great Mizuti also happens to be a child of the earth, here to defeat the wicked god.
Well, thanks for letting us know. Go back to sleep for a little while. You'll need your beauty rest. Okay?
Who the fuck is this guy and what's he done with Callus?
Pallas does not seem to believe the Great Mizuti's words.
Of course I do. I trust you. The Great Mizuti is going to defeat the wicked god, right? That makes 6 of us.
Like, for real?
Truly?
I'm not gonna lie.
Yep. Really and truly.
I kind of read this
We're a team
cutscene
now.
as Callus doing that whole, yup, I definitely believe you because you're coming with us, right?
The Great Mizuti sometimes needs to tell lies, but you should never lie to the Great Mizuti. Never. Remember.
Okay, Great Mizuti. We won't lie to you. right?
That must be the name of your invisible friend. The great Mizutip gives the voice to me.
Hey, about time somebody appreciates us.
The great Mizuti acknowledges you.
Also, that absolutely is a response that could have applied to either of those lines.
All for one. One for all.
But seriously though, when did we get like this?
So, how are we gonna get inside the Empire?
Like I said, I'm pretty sure Callus is just like
I can take you
totally
with my
playing
ship.
it up for Mizuti.
I've made quite a number of visits to the Empire.
Everyone else is just enabling
They
this?
should let us into port easily enough.
They'll bully him when they get back to the ship, if they need to.
That would be a great help.
Wouldn't that be dangerous for you, Lady Melodia?
No need to worry. I'll pass the time somehow and head back alone. There's nothing dangerous about it.
Sounds like a plan.
You should all get a good night's rest and set off tomorrow.
Callus, you're still awake. Could we talk for a minute?
Sure. Something wrong, Shella? Can't you sleep?
I've been thinking about the prophecy that the old lady told us the other day.
Which one? We've been told like 5 prophecies by 5 different old ladies at this point.
Should they be unsealed, all 5 evils unleashed, our world would succumb to the everlasting curse of the evil god Melpertio. Melpertio will never be restored to his full might, for the Guardians destroyed his evil in its entirety.
You know, I'm getting a lot of mixed messages on what the power of Melpertio can and cannot do.
The world will disappear without a
Yeah, that's like
swallowed by
one of the problems that we have. Only
Our
one.
only hope is the ocean long lost. Find us, O mighty ocean, and forgive us.
Like, I'm having a little difficulty keeping track of all the prophecies that we've heard and which one said what.
The white-winged darkness. The long-lost ocean. Callus?
Yeah? What's wrong?
I'm very slowly starting to connect some dots.
Never mind. It's not important. Tomorrow, we set off for Alfard, heart of Imperial might.
Yeah.
See, right down to the never mind, it's not important.
I mean us all. The entire world, of course.
Yes, that's definitely what she was going for there.
Yeah, well, to tell you the truth, I just don't know, Shella. What may happen, what future awaits us, I don't even know what'll happen to me.
Yeah, we've just kind of been winging it this whole time. No pun intended.
Callus, let's do our best. For everyone's sake, okay? I believe in you. Good night.
You know, I'm glad somebody does.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that makes one of us.
I was gonna say, because I sure as shit don't.
And what happened to the ruthless pragmatist?
Huh? Shella? What do you think? You think someone stole our End Magnus? Is there really
You
a
think?
traitor among us? Is someone lying? You think so? Kinda sad, isn't it?
Oh well. I'm sure it'll be the subject of a
Find us,
really dumb
the mighty
cutscene
ocean,
later.
And forgive us.
Hey.
But what
Sabina,
if we speculated on it for, like, another 6 minutes and 50 seconds?
say we managed to sneak into the Empire. Then what?
That seems productive.
We need to track down Geldoblame and Giacomo. They should be on their way to finding the last End Magnus. We have to catch up with them somehow.
I guess you're right. We'll be on enemy turf, chasing them down while trying to stay hidden. That'll be tough to pull off. What are the odds of us winning?
No idea. We'll just have to try and see.
Ain't that the truth? By the way, about the lost End Magnus, you think it was one of us that...
It's very likely.
Man, are we just
But who
gonna
could have done
switch between everybody discussing this now?
Don't know. It could be Liud. Or it could be me. Or it could be you.
I mean, do you not find this to be the most thrilling line of conversation they could have gone
We'll find out
with?
when we get to the Empire.
I mean, I'm all for some intrigue, but
Yeah.
I feel like they're not really selling it. That said, I could absolutely see it being Luz. Like, maybe he's like pulling a double secret reverse Ocelot maneuver here.
Will I be able to confront my own people? The friends and family I grew up with?
Like, what if he's mind controlled to think that he's not mind controlled, to think that he is mind controlled, to think that he's not mind controlled?
Why did it have to come to this?
I mean, wouldn't that really be the ultimate trick?
Emperor Geldoblame. Does he
I
truly
mean,
intend to
the
unleash
ultimate
the
trick
power of
would have
Malpersia in this
been
world?
that he was never mind-controlled to begin with.
That pendant. That must be the
Maybe
one
he's
my
just like
ancestor
that.
left behind with his records. How did it come to be in Geldoblame's possession?
The gate to Ba has been opened. Now only one door remains. To this world he will summon the core Hydra, bastion of evil, banished to another dimension. And the countless creatures within, finally released from exile. The world will die a slow and painful death. It is almost here. Just a little longer.
Maybe those were some new and original proper nouns, I think.
How should our nations deal with this
Yeah, I don't think
mess?
we've heard any of those names yet.
We must be ready to wage an all-out war against the Empire, should it become necessary.
There have been no reports thus far that the Empire is amassing its forces. War must be avoided at all costs.
But once all the End Magnus are unsealed, and the power of the wicked god is unleashed, it would be too late.
I mean, the man has a point.
I understand that. Yet King Latican...
But what if we didn't go to
I
war?
bring a message for your highness. Callus and his party plan to leave Mira and head for the imperial capital.
Is that right?
I suggest we wait just a little longer. If they succeed in recovering the End Magnus, and in stopping Geldoblame's scheme, it may be unnecessary to act.
But you think they can
Yeah,
take
that'll check out.
The fate of the world
I mean, what,
is
you
at
don't
stake
you don't
here.
have faith
One
in our
wrong move
party,
could lead to
Fiddle?
grave consequences.
You don't think that we've got this in the bag?
Then we should be prepared to act,
Uh,
and wait for word from them.
No?
I have faith in that young man, bonded with the guardian spirit.
Damn, there's two people with faith in Callus.
Our fortunes are really picking up. I know a JRPG goes shopping as a side questing prompt when I see one.
Yeah, it's a little more obvious once we actually go talk to Melodia, which I think we'll do at the start of the next video, but, yeah, this is essentially the... I mean, not that they haven't all been points of no return, but this is very much a, hey, you're headed for the capital P plot, you better be ready for this.
Go into all the nonsense. I mean, we have been wandering around doing nonsense for, like, several videos now. Like, is there much that we need to be doing now at this point?
Not really. I mean, I'm sure I've missed all kinds of stuff, but, you know, fuck if I care to actually go look at a guide.
Right, yeah, 2003 era JRPG. I guess they are gonna be like that. Well, you were not kidding about the stats.
Yep, it's like, they're just really underpowered for that one dungeon, because... shrug? Whatever. Next time, we're headed to the Empire, and the end of Disc 1.